Good evening, good afternoon to you. We understand the area where you are is often affected when there are heavy rains. What's the situation there at the moment?
Stephen, the situation is quite much better today compared to the past few days because quite a number of areas here in Nkomazi were flooded, and actually on the ground I've visited quite a number of families that are affected as the Nkomazi municipality, to be exact. Officials from there were visiting those affected families. What I've seen and the information I got from the people from those households, they are saying that they lost everything in terms of grocery items and also their furniture destroyed due to the flooding that occurred here. But looking into the broader perspective in the province, I also spoke to the spokesperson of the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs here in Mpumalanga, saying that, well, in the province as a whole, about 100 households were affected, meaning that about 100 houses were damaged by the heavy rains. And also, another concern, Stephen, is that there is quite a number of people that are missing because of just after the heavy rains. In fact, the spokesperson says 4 people have drowned since the cyclone made a landfall in Mozambique, and there are some people who are still missing to date.
We also know, I mean, it's not just in Nkomazi, other areas have been affected as well. How badly have they been affected in that area, in that region?
Quite a number of areas. I can mention, for example, in Ermelo, the situation is very bad there as well. We know also in Bushbuck Ridge that quite a number of houses were damaged there, and also the Kruger National Park, it's also one of the areas that were severely affected. And actually the management there at the Kruger National Park had to relocate some guests from camps that are located in low-lying areas, and then putting them in camps that are much safer and strong in terms of the buildings. So those are some of the areas that are affected here in the province, Stephen. But also the municipality has urged here, specifically in Nkomazi, parents to take care of their children, because there are still some bridges that are overflowing in terms of the water, especially in a number of streams here. So that is the message that is coming from the local municipality and also the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs in the province.
And really, unfortunately, the bad news isn't going to end there. I mean, there's more weather forecast for Gauteng for the next week, but in Mpumalanga, well, for the next few days as well. I mean, just in the weather forecast I've pulled up, in some places you could, but in some places you could have 25 millimeters just in the next 24 hours. That's a lot of rain. I would imagine people in Mpumalanga are very worried about what's going to happen next. This rain's not finished.
That is the biggest worry, Stephen. That is why I asked officials that were sent to this area to assess the extent of the damage and also find out as to what exactly are they going to do. I asked that question as what is it that you are going to do as a municipality to assist these people, because normally you will see them coming down with blankets and other basic necessities like grocery items, but I haven't seen that today. All they said is that well, they've had a conversation with traditional authorities whom they are saying that those are the people that allocate stands to people like in low-lying areas, and this becomes a problem each and every year. For example, this area I'm at now, you find that people invade land and they end up not having proper infrastructure. That is why when the heavy rains are experienced in this province, you find that some people end up being affected. But also, we know that at the provincial level, the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs said that they've got a budget of about 18 million rand to respond to emergency situations, and we are yet to see in terms of the deployment of some of the disaster management officials as to what exactly are they doing on the ground, because seemingly so far we haven't seen much being done on the ground.
I mean, there's so many concerns about all of this. There's so many different things that people are trying to actually deal with at the moment. I mean, to relocate people during a time of social distancing and COVID-19 makes it all so much harder. A flood is bad enough, a pandemic is bad enough, but 2 plagues at once.
Yes, it's quite a completely different situation compared to previous years. As you are highlighting the issue of the COVID-19 pandemic, there was a discussion, a suggestion that perhaps the affected people should be moved perhaps into community halls. And I think that that discussion couldn't make it because of the issue of the COVID-19 pandemic, to say that you can't bring together people from different communities or different households to stay together, because you don't know if there are some members of a particular family that are infected. So that's one biggest problem at this stage. But the officials that are here on the ground told me that they will engage the Department of Human Settlements to now discuss how best can they address the situation. Because in terms of building new houses, it will take some time for some of the people to be accommodated. In fact, one woman I spoke to, she said that she slept outside the house because of the problem of the water, and also the beds were wet and all that. So it's just quite a dire situation on the ground. Those are issues that we perhaps think that all the government levels, be it the municipal level and also the provincial level, we think that they'll do something to ensure that this matter is addressed as soon as possible.
Leila, thanks very much indeed. Live today from Nkomazi in Mpumalanga, the latest there. I've got to tell you, it's not the only area that's been affected by heavy rain. I know there's been some good beach weather in Cape Town this week, lucky you, but other parts of the country are very, very wet. Well.